um, my office, property news, and on top you will see North Cyprus, Spain, Turkey, and Italy. And for North Cyprus, as we started doing it, you can see the presentations for Aphrodite Park, Aquamarine, Pine Valley Elegance, Noinlar Residence. These are the products that are really hot right now on the market, and which can be offered easily with the usage of the presentations. And also we're creating presentation videos for these products as well. Now we will speak more about the numbers that we can actually see in North Cyprus in terms of return on investment and the capital growth of the property, value growth of the property. Of course, before saying any numbers, we understand that it depends a lot on the location, on the product, on the property, on the facilities around it, on the existing value, and the approach to the surroundings, to the amenities that you can find actually on this site and which are planned in the future. But basically, the average numbers for let's say first 2 years of investments, you can see return on investment around 12.5% per annum, and next years it gives around 8% per annum, the return on investment. So basically, if we will take the clear numbers, the property grows in value from 5 up to 12% yearly, and of course, as I said, it depends on the stage of the construction and so on. So it brings us to the next step, actually, to understand the investment portfolio of North Cyprus, that this is the pricing of the properties. So the pricing stages of the that developers are given for their products, we have different selection. It's pre-launch price, which are the prices are the lowest on the market during this time, because basically developer is assessing the market with the new product, and he's trying to give the best investment opportunities for the people who are investing in the beginning. So this is called pre-launch. Then it goes off-plan. Off-plan means when the property has been launched, but the construction has not started. Then the next stage is under construction. When actually by the time of the under construction period, the prices are already rising up to 10–15%. And during the construction, there are, depending on, of course, on the product, as I said, there are different pricing stages as well. When, for example, there is a foundation and concrete work and skeleton of the properties, the prices rises up to a certain level. Then, for example, there's a different criteria which states like when the let's say 50% of the property of the properties of the product have been sold out, then there is another increase in the price, and so on and so forth, again depending on different developments. Then we have a built property, which has a solid price so far on this stage, and then the prices appreciation, value appreciation, actually goes in line with the whole market of with the whole property market of the country, and as we've been showing graphics at our seminars, since 2008, 2007, North Cyprus is showing a steady growth in the property prices. As I said, it's from 5 up to 12% per annum. And then the next stage in the pricing stage is a resale, which is absolutely free market, and here the pricing is totally depends on the owner or the vendor of the property, depending on the different facilities and different features of the property. Here it was more or less the general information about the investment opportunities in North Cyprus, and now we will speak more detailed about the products. Sure, and show on screen share. Yeah. And now we will take a look at more closely to the products, several developments, and we'll discuss more the investment opportunities. Was that? Now, was that will join? Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You have to close your speaker. How are you, everybody? Thank you, Andre, for this very beautiful and informative intro. We are talking about investment opportunities tonight. And I see that our webinars start to be more crowded day by day. It's a good news. Okay, I will try to explain you in a very easy and basic way what is the investment idea of a property. As you know, a property covers an area. The most easy way to explain how to earn money from a property is to check which way we can use to get the biggest benefit. So if my personal idea about to earn a good investment from a property or earn a good money from a property is actually to use it as a hotel, because how many people use the property in a year? You made that much big income. But as you know, we are in residential unit business. Obviously, we are not making any hotel business. So you have to think, when you are thinking about a property, if you are having a property for an investment and for the income from the rentals, you have to think for how many different people this property can be rented, like a hotel. So that's why, if we look at the income situations of our existing properties, we see that the properties which is easily renting to short-term rentals are making very good income. Let me give you an example. Let's say that if you have a property which is in a city center or which is in a not holiday themed place, so you can rent this property easily to someone who can use it as a long-term property. And your rental income from this property, let's say, let me give you an example, in North Cyprus, an average 2-bedroom apartment, you can easily rent it for 400 to 500 in city center at the moment. So in 1 year, you will have an income from this property around 5,000 to 6,000 pounds. But if you have a property near sea, the rental income, you have a different rental opportunity for this property that time. You can rent it in short term. So if you are interested to know about which property, how much you can earn in a year, first of all, you have to see that this property is easy to rent for the short-term rental. If the property is okay for the holidaymakers to rent it in short term, then you will see, or you will investigate, what is your costs to run this property for the short-term tenants. So obviously you can do this by yourself. You can find somebody to do it for you, or you can go to maintenance companies. As in North Cyprus, our property suppliers, construction companies, and developers are usually doing this for themselves. So at the end of the day, what the number shows us is the monthly rental income of a property is approximately equal to the weekly property income for the short-term rentals. So if you can rent a property for 400, 500 pounds per month in long term, you can easily rent it to 400, 500 pounds per week for the short-term rentals. When you're investing to a property, the first important thing is, if you will not live there, if it's for investment and if you want to rent it out, obviously how much you can make from a property in a year. If your rental income covers the property in 10 years or less, we call it as a very good investment from the rental side. Okay? In the big cities or in the Europe's capitals, these numbers goes to 15 to 20 years. It means that if you rent a property, in 15 to 20 years, it's covering itself by the rental income. But in developing countries and in rising countries in the Mediterranean, we see that the rental income start to cover the property's cost less than 10 years. Plus, if you add the short-term rental income to this property's investment return, you see that in North Cyprus especially, you can cover the cost of the property easily in 6, 7, 8 years. But as I said, you have to be careful about how you will run the property's maintenance and the needs for the tenants, like changing the bed sheet, changing the towels, etc. So according to this idea, we choose the best properties of North Cyprus, and you can see them in your top account as presentations. This is the first thing about a good investment, the rental income. The second thing is, as Andre explained, the purchasing time of the property. The cheapest form of the property is when it's off-plan, which means when it's planned, it gets the approval from the government and it's ready to build. Because if you buy a property in that stage, you are helping to properties developers and the construction companies from the financial way. In another way, they are building the property with your money, with your involvement. We call this in property business capital appreciation. It means that the property suppliers or the developers are making price cheaper, showing they appreciate to you by making the price cheaper. So the cheapest form of a property is off-plan. After that, the second stage is construction period. Obviously, in this stage, the property suppliers, construction companies, and developers are also building. They need the fast cash flow, but they already started the property. So instead of, or according to the prices of off-plan prices, which means that project is only planned now, didn't start, in this stage, you can get a little more expensive prices. And the top price of the property, a brand new property, is obviously when the property is finished and when the key is ready. In that stage, you find the property's price as the standards of the country and the area. Depend on the personal touch, the furniture, and the the extras which you put the property inside, the top price of a property is being after the renovation or the touch of the owner. It means second hand or the second sale of the property. In the world, for a long time, this is a very serious income door for a lot of people. I'm sure you heard about people buying properties, renovating them, and selling them for a good price. Actually, Donald Trump was the guy who made this very good in the United States. So what we said, there are 4 different prices for a property. If you want to have a very good investment, you need to start it from off-plan, because you get the best price when it's off-plan. The second stage is construction period. You still have good prices. The third stage is key ready, which means that you can start to use and rent this property. Properties prices are in the market norms. And then the fourth is after your personal touch and adding extras to property. This is the most expensive price for the property. But this stage, according to location and according to different projects around your property, the properties prices can go higher, of course. What we have in North what we have in North Cyprus is mostly we have new areas, new locations, and the projects what we are marketing, and we believe that our agents and our customers will get huge benefit, is actually the projects which doesn't have so much properties around. In the same time, this is very good for the Scandinavian market as well, because Scandinavian people, when they come to Mediterranean, they enjoy the around area more than the city center. In our portfolio, right now, the best project according to investment, we can say, is Aphrodite Park Residence. Some of you guys also purchased from there. I even purchased one from there because the return of investment, ROI, is approximately around 30 to 40% at the moment. And the company have a maintenance company which will run the properties maintenance and the rental processes later. And it's already in front of sea, so they can rent it for the holiday makers, and at the same time they can rent it to students, because there are 3 universities there. So it looks like in this stage, in this second, the best project what we have in North Cyprus regarding to investment opportunity is Aphrodite Park at the moment. But if you're thinking a little more long term, we have different projects, as you know, like Pine Valleys projects. We have other Evergreens projects. We have Carrington's projects as well in our hand. We believe that all these projects are good investments, but some of them will take more time to get the 30-40% return of investment percentages than the smaller units. Because as you know, in North Cyprus, especially in the north part of North Cyprus, the long-term rental income is unfortunately not like Gaziveren area, where is Aphrodite Park, because of the universities. In Esentepe area, in North Cyprus, north of North Cyprus area, we don't have universities. Until the universities will be open, we are not getting a good return of income from the long-term rentals at the moment. But when we investigate the short-term rentals, average, we have 5 very busy months in North Cyprus. So even though these short-term rentals are covering a very important part of the property's costs. If you go to Spain and if you investigate Spain from the same logic, as we have a project in Spain, as you know, La Mata, which is in the second line of the beach, the same situation is there as well. As you know, the biggest income for that project properties also will be from the summer tenants. So when you are speaking with the customers, you can wake up in their mind is they are not only buying a property which is under the sun and which will wait them for 11 or 10 months in a year. In the same time, you are giving them an income door. The people who are buying properties, especially in Sweden, we saw that they are not just buying properties for holiday houses. They are also, the big percentage of Sweden is coming for the investment opportunities. They want to earn money from the property they have, and in the same time, they want to use this for themselves as well. Unfortunately, at the moment, France, Italy, and other big, strong European Mediterranean countries are not so much strong in short term for the return of investment on the off-land projects, because the prices are seriously still expensive. But Portugal, Spain, and North Cyprus is seriously strong at the moment about investment. Yes, Irene. But just as another information, actually the biggest profit are all the time in the highest risk and the most difficult times makes usually the property investors big income. What I mean is, at the moment, as you know, Turkey having a big problem with the economic situation, and a lot of Scandinavian people are moving out of the country. At the moment, you can see that the property prices are it's in its bottom level. But in the same time, especially Middle East and the Arabic countries are investing in Turkey at the moment. So a lot of Turkish brokers and Turkish investors are buying properties from the coastal line from the Scandinavians, and they are selling it to Middle East and Arabic customers, and Iranian, for example, customers. So the economical situation of the country is also very important, but we believe that at the moment, North Cyprus and Spain are the favorites of the Mediterranean, and in soon time we will start to enter an Albanian market as well. There is a new market for our agents and for us. The same opportunity, I believe, we will see there as well. But the reason that we want to inform you about this subject is when you are advertising properties around the Mediterranean, not only try to advertise it from the good lifestyle, more than 300 days sunshine. We also have a very good business opportunity for the people who wants to use their money in the property business as well, because these countries where we are also in at the moment are bringing a huge income for their property investors. Especially in North Cyprus, we have approximately 2,000 property buyers from the Scandinavian countries, and it's just starting still. In next 5 years, the country is expecting minimum 10,000 Scandinavian population, according to what we saw in the history. So there are almost like 8,000 buyers will move to North Cyprus. 8,000 buyers means minimum approximately around 100 to 150 projects, new projects. So when all these projects will start to show up in the country, the property prices will easily be expensive around 30 to 40%. So I believe that this is a very good way to attract your customers, to take their attention, having a nice lifestyle under the sun and make money in the same time is a good opportunity for them. Stefan asked a question about Turkey, how dangerous for invest. Actually, well, I am from Turkey, and I know the political situation there very good. From my point of view, to invest in Turkey is not dangerous at the moment, but the marketing is turning to more Middle East and the Arabic countries. So if you have a good marketing channel to advertise properties for the proper address, you can make very good money. But if you are from Scandinavian countries and if you're expecting an income from the Scandinavian buyers, unfortunately, next 2-3 years is not showing that Turkey's market will turn back to Scandinavians at the moment. If the question is it dangerous? It is not dangerous. You have your title deed, you have your all the securities for the government when you have a property in Turkey. But if you are trying to market properties to Scandinavian countries, unfortunately, Scandinavians are not buying in Turkey at the moment. We saw this in the exhibitions as well. The interest to Turkey property, according to its political situation and economical situation right now, is not that much attracting people. Okay. Thank you so much. Our time is over, I think. Thank you so much being with us. We are preparing a very good webinar for our next webinar. Check it, and before we close, open your cameras. Let me see everybody, because I will say something very important. Open your cameras. Open. Let me see everybody.
Azad, I would like to say something and add something with this. And you were speaking about pre-launch. Pre-launch is the first thing that when they have an off-plan, a new project, and they have it off-plan. And pre-launch is like when you, maybe they only have 8 apartments that they will let go for the pre-launch price, but it's a really, really good price to be in on. And how can you be, be aware of this? Yes, to be an agent, of course. If you are an agent and you want to invest, you can easily,
That is the thing what we say in our presentations. Why you be a winner? Because you will be aware of the new opportunities of the Mediterranean.
So that is so smart to be there, and then you can help your clients that wants to go. But you have to be aware they go very fast.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's what.